T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to episode 432. All in the Tree Tuesdays, that time of the week. What is good, everyone? I'm your boy MJ. If this is your first time hanging out with us, what is good? If you're into keeping reptiles, especially chondros and arboreal snakes, or wanting just to, learn how to breed or overall well-being of keeping them, this is the place to be. So make sure you smash that subscribe button. All right. Hit that like button first and foremost. All right. And then hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be on top of every single podcast I drop here on this channel. I drop 3 podcasts a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. For now, I do not miss. All right. So you can also listen to this podcast on all the major audio platforms such as Buzzsprout, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Buzzsprout, wherever you listen to Trap Talk Reptile Podcast. Thank you so much. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Give me that feedback. Much appreciated. Also on YouTube, drop a comment in the comment section. It means a lot. I'm going to start giving away merch and stuff to random comments in the comment section. All right. That's going to start being a thing for me. So drop a comment, give me some feedback, and I will give you something in return. Thank you so much. Seriously, all the support, all the love means everything to me. I do want to say shout out to my Patreon family. Shout out to the trappers. If you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to get more out of what you see at each episode, get more behind the scenes and kind of see what I'm about, then go down to the very first link you see on the very top, click on it, join the Trap Talk Patreon family. And then as soon as you join the Trap Talk Patreon family, you get a link to the Discord that taps you in with over 185 trappers. I think it's over 190 now. But either way, thank you for all the love and support. And I cannot wait to start shooting some exclusive content over to the Trap family. And Trap Fest this year is going to be an amazing event. We also get together every Sunday with the V-Unit family, my man Emilio and his Patreon family and whatnot. So a lot of face-to-face interaction, a lot of networking and seeing who else out there fucks with what you fuck with. And then you build relationships from there, man. It's all about network, man. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And that's the Patreon family, motto that we have going on, man. We're all about hooking each other up and making sure we are all set up for success. So Patreon members, you guys are my heart. Early birds, I see you guys. I'll get to you guys in a minute. I do want to say shout out to US ARC and shout out to you if you support US ARC. But US ARC, you need to support US ARC because the numbers matter, especially when it comes to legislations and things hitting maybe your town. You never know. You want to be prepared. Either way, do your due diligence and support US ARC. Thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to the entire US ARC family and team. And again, thank you personally from MJ if you are already supporting US ARC and being on the same team, because the numbers matter. We got to fight for our animal rights. That's fact. Speaking of facts, Reptile Super Show. That's right. The #1 show in the country happening this weekend. And I am in full preparation. Got homies flying in tomorrow. It's going to be an epic time. I cannot wait. And if you are going to the Reptile Super Show, let me know. All right. Especially if you're in the live chats right now. Let me know if you're going to Reptile Super Show. All right. And yes, your boy MJ will be vending there. I'll have my booth there. I'll have shows cracking off as far as podcasts is. I'll have random big dogs sitting down with me. And if you want to see how all that goes down, then go to the Pomona Reptile Super Show and you can check it out. And I'll even have some ball pythons vending there, man. I got my own productions that are going to be available at the Reptile Super Show this weekend. So come through. Shout out to Rami. Shout out to the entire Reptile Super Show family. It's going to go down. Cannot wait. Big things popping. And that's a fact. Also, this episode is brought to you by one of my freshest sponsors. And this guy is amazing because he's flexing Texas all day, every day. It's my man, Mark Hager from Texas Condros. Head over to texascondros.com. All right, check out the layout. Check out the foundation that has been so successful for Mark and his chondro projects. All right, you could also follow Mark's work on Instagram. Type in TX Condros, Texas Condros, and you can see everything that he has going on there as well. Shout out to Mark again. Really excited to have Mark be a part of what I have going on. Mark's a huge inspiration to me and always been there for me and there for a lot of people, even the trappers and whatnot. So thank you, Mark. You're my heart, dog. Appreciate you so much. And big things popping this year. That's a fact. Also, this episode is brought to you by Blake Exotic Feeders. All right, listen, diversity is key. I don't care what anyone says. Offering quail to a reptile is not going to hurt it, first and foremost. And I guarantee some of your reptiles could use a little bit of a diet. Let's be real. A lot of your guys' snakes, a lot of your guys' monitors, a little fat, you know. A lot of people do just use rodents, and I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with rodents, but I feel like diversity could help. And I'm only telling this from experience. I want to say I'm like 80% of my collection implements quail every so often, and I've been kind of experiment this all last year, and I'm going to continue it. And I just want to say shout out to the sponsor, Blake Exotic Feeders, for providing me with top tier and amazing quality quail. So head over to Instagram, type in Bear, all right, which is Blake Exotic Animal Feeders on IG, but just type in Blake Exotic Feeders, it'll pop up. Let him know that the trap sent you. Say, hey, MJ sent me, I need some quail, and he'll hook you up straight up. Just DM him, hit him up, and let him know that I sent you. And again, shout out to the sponsor, Blake from Blake Exotic Animal Feeders. Last but not least, I want to say shout out to Focus Cube Habitats, the #1 PVC enclosures built in the game. You cannot get better than a Focus Cube Habitat. Top tier, the Louis Vuitton of PVC enclosures. These guys put in so much effort into their designs. And yeah, dude, stoked to be a part of the Focus family for going like over 3 years now. 4th year now, I think this is. So Stephen and Ashley, you guys are great. You guys are hardworking. I appreciate everything that you two do. And I cannot wait to continue to grow with you guys. So please head over to Instagram, follow Focus Cube Habitats, go see what they have going on. And if you're ready to rock and roll, then go to focuscubehabitats.com and put your order in. Don't play. Everything behind me, Focus Cube Habitats. Just saying. All right. Anyways, look who I got with me tonight. My 2 co-hosts, very, very player individuals. Marshall Mendez, Red Mountain Herps. What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
How you
What's
feeling?
up, Alex? I'm feeling better.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm getting there. Still not 100, but getting closer.
Alex Warren, A&W in the building. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. Just chilling. Been a really slow day today, so been looking forward to this.
Yeah? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Listen, what's a slow day for you? Like, what like everything's taken care of is what you said? Like, you know, or
Well, I was off work. There was just nothing going on. Like, it pretty much just been chilling around the house the whole day.
So you already have a YouTube channel going, you got a vlog going. Well, come on, man. You got time on your hands.
Yeah, totally.
Dude, your setup looks great. I want to say, how's breeding been so far for both of you? I mean, you guys we're all got shit paired up. So why don't you go first, Alex? What's going on? Do you have stuff paired, or you get locks?
Yeah, I mean, I had 2 sarong pairings going this year, and one of them reabsorbed already, and the other one is still going. They're still locking, so we'll see how that goes. That's pretty much it for this year.
And you know, I don't know, Marshall. I mean, I'm sure you've had situations where you know probably for sure you got a female that reabsorbs. But do you think there's times where maybe she had no follicles to begin with, and you're just assuming that she's gravid? I'm not saying that's you, Alex, but I'm just saying, like, is that easy? Is that easily to happen? Do you think to anyone?
I don't know. For me, I've always looked at whether they're feeding or not. If they're off feed, every time except for one, in the 20 years I've been breeding Condros, or however long it's been, maybe longer than that, it's only happened one time where the female has gone off feed and then gone on to reabsorb and not at least lay something, whether it be a fertile clutch or slugs or what. And that happened last year, actually, with one of the females that I think is really gravid this year, but we'll see. I've got 2 females here that are in pre-lay shed now. And other than that, I'm still trying to pair some things together. Hadn't seen a whole lot of action chondro-wise, but we'll see. My Angolans, I think they may go, which will be kind of cool. First time breeding for them. And haven't even started thinking about ball pythons yet. So,
well, man, thank God tonight's topic isn't ball pythons. I'll tell you that much.
yeah, right.
Because here's the deal, man. Alex for sure mentioned tonight's guest to me, like, hey, why don't you bring this guy on the show? And I told him, I was like, I know who he is, but the thing is, like, I am kind of late to this guy. And what I mean by that, like, this guy's been showing me love and like, yo, check my stuff out. And I don't know, I kind of just was like, you know, I this is why it's not always good to just shine everyone, because I'm not saying I purposely shine him, but when I actually took the time to click on his fucking page and see what he had going on, I was like, you idiot. Like, you know, like, dude, this fool has some fucking serious heat. And I couldn't believe that it goes back to like 2010s. Like, he had Pedro visited his place, and so there's a lot of history with this guy and Condros and whatnot. And but it's kind of what's making this episode so good tonight, I think. He's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, which I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's one of the hardest things to accomplish in life. It's no joke. It's a whole lifestyle, just like breeding what we do, but you're getting your ass whipped. It's way different. You know what I mean? It's really physically mentally hard. Hardest thing I've ever went through. So, Alex, what do you know about Dimitri, Alex? Because like I said, you've mentioned him to me before, but what do you know about tonight's guest?
Yeah, I mean, he actually messaged me the first time I was on Trap Talk. That's how we met.
Oh,
was
nice.
He saw my episode and he messaged me, and we actually started talking since then. And he's pretty much like the definition of how to do it right. You know, like you said, he's been keeping green trees since like 2010. He just started breeding like a year and a half ago or something like that.
Wow.
And, you know, and they're all like amazing designer lineages. And he's just produced some awesome looking babies. So, you know, just really the definition of how to do it right.
Yeah. And he's like, I just have a good feeling he's low key. And so, Marshall, have you ever heard of him before? This guy, Dimitri?
I've heard his name before. I tried to check out his page today, but his Instagram page is private. So
I'll have to tell the homie to let you in, bro. I mean, listen, black belts can be funny like that. You never know. You know. So, no, for real, it's gonna go down though. And shout out to everyone in the live chats. I want to get this episode going. Are you guys ready to bring Dimitri in or what?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, guys, listen, if you're in the live chats and if you are ready to rock and roll, drop a super chat. Let's go. Because it's episode 432, my man Dimitri, for All in the Tree Tuesdays, coming at you right now. Let's go.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, God love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up, rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
Episode 432 live with Dimitri. What's up, Dimitri?
How you guys doing? Happy New Year, everybody.
What's up, man? Happy New Year.
What's going on?
Thanks for the show.
Man, hey, where you at? Where you from, bro? Let me know what part of the country you're in.
Chicago,
Chicago. Okay, I had a feeling.
Nice.
right,
Love
right,
Chicago.
right outside of Tinley,
Right
Orland
up-
Park.
Oh, That's right. You told me that before because last time I was at Tinley, you told me how close you were to that and whatnot.
Yeah, like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, man. How long you been, settled in Chicago for?
All my life.
Your whole life.
Yeah.
Wow, man. That's epic. And 2000, can you confirm the date it was when you started getting into Condros? I mean, we're talking about 2010, but I want to hear it from you. When was it?
It was around 2009.
Wow.
And then I started going to the show 2010, 11, 12. I still have.
Wow. Look at that. 2010 NARBC.
Nice.
That's 14 years old. Damn near. That's epic.
Yeah,
So,
and then I got the other ones.
2011.
12. And I have a couple other ones.
Damn, they haven't, they haven't really changed much, have they? I feel like that's like looks like a current flyer. But wow, man. Okay, so Reptiles came and then you started going to the shows, and I'm curious how you got the Condro. Like, where'd you purchase it, and what influenced you to even get a Condro out of all the reptiles?
I started off with a red tail boa.
Nice.
And
Cool
got pretty big. Then I was like, man, I don't want to deal with something this big,
Yeah.
So I gave it to somebody that I knew. He liked it. He grew up, still has it actually. And then I was just like walking through NRBCA one day and just saw a blue Condro and all this beautiful designer stuff on a table called the Condro Coalition, and that's when Rico was there. And I just walked by, look at stuff, and never really thought about getting into it. And then my first purchase was from the Reptile House in Orland Park, Chicago Reptile House.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Porter's.
That's still there, right? Obviously, it's like one of the longest standing ones or something from what I've heard. It's like
still get my live mice. About 2009, I got one Sharong type. And after that, I think it was 2010, I got one from Dale Jewell. His was Tinley times what was it? 07077, a Trooper Wash PNG times Greg Maxwell Might Phase, which is the female that's up there. They gave me the clutch to my babies right now.
Oh my gosh. So how old is that female? She's well over 10 then.
Yeah. She's 12 years old.
Whoa.
Yeah, from
the her first clutch.
First clutch. She had 15 eggs. She kicked the 2 slugs out, and then she wrapped up all the 13. And they all hatched perfectly.
And
you let her. You did maternal incubation, or
no, just let her get all the eggs together. Let her get it finished. Put it on the first page.
Oh wait, hold on. Hey, hold on. Am I allowed? Are my friends allowed to look at this? Because I know.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know Alex is good, but I don't know about Marshall. Should we let him? I don't know.
Cool.
I had to. All right. So where we at? Tell me, Dimitri, where do you want me to go?
Hera, right there. First girl, right there. The top girl. No, not her. The one before her.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Right here?
Her. The next page. Yeah.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh wow. Okay, this is the girl.
Yeah. So she knew those 2 eggs were bad, so she pushed them out. And then
they don't even look bad. I mean, they look like they could be decent, but she knew they were bad, huh?
Yeah, for some reason. And then when I candled them, they were completely yellow inside.
Yeah. Duds. Okay. So, but 13 good.
13 good, and she was 12 years old. Yeah, and she's on a mice diet, no rats.
So you do only mice as well. Holy
only
shit.
mice.
What is this? What is happening? Wow. This is crazy. I enjoy it. I love the different, the options that people could go to, but we're going to get to that right now, but continue. Go ahead.
About 800 grams.
Okay. And how often does she feed, like beef? Let's just say throughout her life, how has she been eating? Like, how often are you feeding her mice, and what are the size of the mice?
Sometimes when I have the big ones, I give her 2.
Back to back?
Back to back.
I mean, that could be equivalent to a jumbo, or if not more, at least. I mean, because how big are the rat? Excuse me, how big are the mice? Are they large mice? Medium?
Mice, yeah.
Large.
Large.
Okay, and so all the time she's getting
try not to purchase them unless they're large mice. It's not worth it.
So Dimitri, let me understand this. So she's a strictly mice diet snake. You feed her 2 mice. How often? I'm sorry. Every what? This is crazy. Don't you guys think this is crazy? I've been doing podcasts for over 4 years. I've had so many chondro breeders on. Not this many people have come on back to back saying they only do mice. This is nuts.
She gets like November 14th, she got a mouse. Then December 3rd, she got another mouse. Then December 27th, she got 2 big mice. Then January 7th, she got 2 more big mice. Then January 14th, she skipped.
And she's paired up right now. What? Okay.
No. This was coming up to the lay, up to her laying.
So you started beefing up the meals as you're getting close to breeding.
Yeah. And then January 14th, she skipped. She didn't want to eat. Then she shit on the 16th, and then she ate again. 2 more on the 28th. February 11th, she wouldn't eat. The 20th, she wouldn't eat. For some reason, she took 3 mice on the 27th. And then after that, she started refusing. And then she laid in August.
That's interesting. So it's like she missed a couple meals, then went back on, then went off again, and then on. Like that's an interesting. I've never heard that before.
And you said
and I missed the ovulation too.
Say it again. So I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
And I missed the ovulation. I couldn't tell if she ovulated or not. She was.
Yeah.
But you said that was in February, and you said that then she laid in August.
Yes. She stopped eating from March all the way. March, April, May. She was in shed May 30th. June 30th, she shed and shit. And June 24th, I'm sorry, June 24th, she laid 15 eggs. They hatched in August. I'm sorry.
Okay, they hatched in August. They actually laid in June.
Yeah.
Right.
And she stopped eating around
March, you said.
March.
That's kind of early. Or wait, no, hold on. March. They're about 4 weeks. They usually shut off 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks usually, right? From what I know.
From what I've seen, it's 4 weeks from when they shed to when they lay. Usually 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh no, I was saying as far as when they shut off food, like they refuse food for about 4 weeks straight, and then the ovulation is what I'm saying.
Oh God, yeah, that's probably close.
Yeah, but it seems like she shut off food. It was March, and it seems like she was off food for almost 2 months.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. Wow.
They don't all read the rule book, bro.
He's what'd you say, Alex?
They don't all read the rule book.
I mean, there is no rules really to this. Let's be real. But the male stayed with her the whole time. We never pulled the male, correct?
The male I pulled out when she refused. When she started refusing. Okay. And he was on the opposite side.
Yeah, because I mean, they kind of give you the sign like, "Give me."
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, we're done. Get me out of here."
Wow. Okay. So she and let me ask you, what are your temps? What do you like to run with? Like, what's your what do you run them all the time as far as a hot spot? Like, let's get to that real quick. What's up, Chuck?
The Neos, I keep them around 82, 84.
Ooh, wow. On the low.
Yeah, but it's kind of warm in here. So
okay.
I never had any issues. I never had any prolapses.
No, yeah. Well, so what's your room? What's your room normally? Like, what's your ambient that you're sitting in right now? Like, for the most part.
It's so hard here in Chicago with this dry climate.
Yeah, I bet.
And the temperature is always going up and down. One day we had 50 degrees on Christmas. It's insane. So I just set my house at like 71, 69. Somewhere in there.
So that's
and then,
cool.
It's like around 71, 72 usually in the house.
Wow. Okay. And so the adults is
The adults are at 86 during the day, and then at night they get down to about like 82. But when I went to chill her, I chilled her at like 69, 70 degrees.
By just dropping her heat, like you just cut the heat off.
Yeah.
And as far as how long during the day are you providing heat? 8 hours or like a few hours, or how long are they getting the hot spot for?
I started from 8 to 6 p.m. 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
So that's 10 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously you had that one female that you went ahead and shut her power off. So you did that specifically for her because you knew that you were going to breed her.
Yeah. The second pairing, I was because I was kind of butthurt from my first pairing. I lost a lot of babies.
Oh, let's get to that.
And,
I hate to bring up old shit, but what happened? Please tell me.
My first pairing, she laid 7 eggs, and then 2 weeks into the incubation, 2 crashed.
Okay.
And then I was left with 5. Then close to when they were hatching, 3 died in the egg. 3 died in the egg. Wait a minute, 5. No, 2 died in the egg, 3 hatched.
Okay.
And then 6 months later, 1 died. So I got left with 2.
You still got 2 though.
Yeah.
I would be happy with that. I would be so goddamn happy. I mean, I know it's about to happen. I'm just saying though, man. I mean, that's so let's kind of get to what crossed your mind, like, because there's so many things that go through someone's head when this is happening to them. Like when you see a beautiful chondro either fully formed dead in the egg or it dies months later, you got a lot going on. So what sort of processing in your head when you just started seeing this happening to the clutch?
It was heartbreaking.
Yeah,
it was like it sucked. And then when I cut the eggs open to see what happened, I totally have a picture of it. The umbilical cord is wrapped around the baby's neck, completely choked them out.
Whoa.
But the one that I lost after 6 months of raising it was the worst. It was like gasping for air.
Yeah. Wow.
What happened? It was fine. It was fine, and then it wasn't.
It was fine. It was making like opening its mouth and kept hissing and hissing, trying to stretch, and then.
Did it skip any sheds at all? Like, did it have any sheds that it wasn't like completing or anything that you know of?
No, I never had any. I really don't have any shed issues.
I had one that died because it was eating everything, but it never shed. It never gave me a shed, and I want to say probably 2.5 months in of never shedding and just eating, it just died. And I found it on the bottom of the tub gasping for air, like how you're talking about. It's pretty sad.
I was thinking maybe possibly a bad paint or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, you really can't chalk it up to anything, unfortunately. But the ones that you have now are doing great, huh? Like you have the 2 that are solid, or what? He's like, well, let me show you.
Yeah, let's pull one out. It's in shed, but
let's see this. Yeah, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to see, but I could tell. I could tell it looks sick as shit.
Yeah, it looks like it's eating well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that snake is over a year old, or I'm sorry, how old is that snake, Dimitri?
February
of last year.
Yeah, so coming up on a year.
And that was your first clutch.
First clutch. So then when I was feeling, like the butt hurt, and I was like, man, I already have my other animals already chilled. I was like, just throw in the male with the other female.
Yeah.
And then right away he locked up with her.
Gangster. Damn. And yeah, shout out to that male. And that male was, I'm sure, what's the background of the male?
That one is the GSAS, the Greg Steffens 0803 male times Shy Girl, which is Bushmaster New Blue.
These names
so
sound
that
good.
That male sibling sister was in the hands of Pedro in Portugal, but she expired on him.
And it is like, did she lay anything with? Did she have any clutches with him or no?
She had. He showed me a picture of one male that's like almost blue, almost.
Damn, that's crazy.
And
so
he told me, I think he said that Buddy Buscemi has another sibling to that animal, to these animals from the Shy Girl pairing.
These names sound familiar to you, Alex and Marshall? Shy Girl, and I mean, I can't remember everything, but
they sound familiar.
Yeah, so some of them do. I mean, obviously, I remember Greg Stevens. He was a pretty, he produced quite a few nice animals. Had a really nice collection there for a while.
He's no longer around, or what?
I don't know. I don't think. I don't ever see him on Facebook. So I don't know. I'm not sure what happened to him, to be completely honest.
Damn. And like we were saying, Dimitri, you've been in the, as far as collecting chondros since 2009. But when you got to the point of breeding, like how many females are you currently at? Like where are you at as far as adults?
I have seven adults, and 2 are females, and I'm very male heavy.
Oh wow, damn it! I wish.
So that's why this year I gave the girls a year off, so I feel more comfortable breeding them coming up 2024.
And the males you have, you like they're powerful males. I'm assuming like they're important. You just don't have the females to match the quantity.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. You don't even want to know my ratio. I have so many females, it's ridiculous, and I'm actually hurting for males. I'm slowly kind of building my male, roster a little bit here and there, but it's crazy how people's situations could be completely different and opposite. But I think it's awesome too because it's you don't rush anything. Do you feel like if you had, let's just say you had the ratio evened out, would you want to go all in and try to breed more than a handful of chondros, or where do you feel comfortable at as far as how many chondros you would breed a year? I'm very new at this game, so I'm very grateful for having 2 clutches, and it's a learning process. Like I learned from the first mistakes I made with the first clutch. I think I didn't have the humidity levels in my incubation right when I had put the eggs first in there, and I think maybe that was the reason some of the eggs crashed and some didn't come out. And like as you grow and you make more and more clutches, you get better and better at what you're doing. So I wouldn't want to rush it and have 4 females lay how many eggs and be stuck with all these babies. I don't even know what I'll be able to do. So I think for me, it was better coming up like this with 3 babies to begin with, raising them. Now I got 12. I got them all feeding. I have no issues. And maybe next year, maybe I can do 3 or 4 females, if I had them, but I wouldn't want to jump into it and do 4 females right at once, I don't know. It would be too hard for me,
Yeah, it's easy to get overwhelmed if you had that many babies.
Yeah. Are you trying to add any more females to your collection, or are you just going to raise the ones up that you produced, or?
I'm going to keep 6 and the 2 that I have, so I'm going to have 8. So hopefully I get some more females.
Okay. That's a really good way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So all the ones that you have now are sexed?
Yeah. No, none of the Neos. None of the Neos. No, I haven't touched them. Just I know the adults.
Okay. So nothing, not even from the February. Obviously it's a little too young, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I'm not worried rushing,
Marshall, do you happen to know like the average year or the average time you would see plugs on a neonate, like or even on a sub-adult or whatever?
For me, it's usually around a year and a half because all the stuff that I know I'm going to keep, which has pretty much been everything the last couple of years. I don't probe it. I just wait until I can, sooner or later you'll get a shed where you can tell what it is, and that's how I've sexed 90% of the snakes for the last couple of years is just by waiting to get a shed, you know, because some of them are, you know, you can't determine one way or the other. Some of them you think, this one's probably a male, and I'll make a note on its card that's, you know, says male with a question mark. And then, you know, if I get a couple like that, are like, you know, once you see a male shed, you know 100% what it is. And once I get one of those, then I'll put a male definitively. And so you can do the same thing with a female too. If you get a nice clean one, you can tell. It's, you know, pretty obvious on the girls too. But I would say usually between a, you know, year and a half or so before you can sex them via just looking at the sheds.
Now, Dimitri, this right here, this picture of gloriness, this is from the February or the June clutch?
The June clutch.
Okay, man, and this is you have 12 of these, right?
12. I had 13, and I sent one already away.
Wow, who got that?
Joe Montini.
Okay, I have to ask. Is it a good friend of yours? I'm assuming.
He's helped me over the years. You know, showed
respect.
me a lot of things and told me a lot of things. I've actually gotten animals from him, so kind of returned the favor a little bit.
That's what I can't wait for that day, because there's so many people who've helped me out, and I can't wait to. And also too, like, I mean, yeah, money's cool, but when it comes to this shit, I really just want these in the right hands, you know, and that's why I'm also trying to, you know, really think about how much do I really want to try to produce, because okay, if I ever get to that point, like, man, that means I have a lot of homes I need to find for things that possibly might not go to the right person, because you're always kind of taking a risk at the end of the day. And you know, you got to give people a chance. But I mean, what's your game plan? Are you, after these are sexed and after you know what they are going to let them go to people, or what's your game plan with the stuff you have right now?
The goal is to take them to Tinley in March.
And take them, like, vend them? You're going to vend them?
Yeah, 6 of them.
That would be sick.
Nice.
So you're going to have a table? You have a table with 6 Condros. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm taking 6 babies.
Wow.
That is, I'm hanging out. Can I hang out at your table?
Brian Porter already told me I could stay at the table at the Chicago Reptile House, so I already have a table.
Oh, nice.
I just need to find the little compartment to sell them in.
Oh man, I would go back to some Rico documentation and copy whatever that guy did if you can. I mean, I don't think they have acrylic cases like they did back in the day. I mean, where would you find stuff like that, Marshall? Like, how would you, like, even, where would you find that?
I've still got some of the Condro Coalition ones. We kind of split everything up there at the end, and I've got 2 boxes. It's basically just like a ball python, like a little, you know, 5 slot,
Yeah.
but it's got a hole drilled all the way through it, and it's in a acrylic dowel that slides through just to give them a little perch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dang, that's neat, man. So that the goal would be March, or what Tinley would you want to do that at?
March.
Dang, bro.
I think they're ready. They got like 30 meals in them already.
Oh yeah, they're ready.
I want to kind of take some bets on how quick will these last. I'm dead ass serious. You don't see stuff like this at any RBC anymore, and even any Reptile Super Show at that.
I don't think they're going to be stressed out. I'm 20 minutes away. All I got to do is pack them in the car, heat down the street.
I'll tell you what, when a neonate's solid, it's fucking solid. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you're, like I said, you're making everything minimal as far as stress goes, I still don't think I would do it, but I'm just saying, like, it's like, fuck,
we used to do it. Yeah. I mean, we did it all the time, man. I've taken them to Daytona, taken them to Tinley, 10, 12 hours in the car each way, you know, out of their tubs for, you know, whatever, the 3 days of show setup plus travel one way, each, you know, 5 days of being out of their tub, and you put them back in, and the next day they eat. They're fine.
I think that them traveling with you would be better than like a FedEx, you would say, right? Because I mean, really, it's on your hands the whole time, and it's with you, and you know, they probably spend more hours with FedEx than they would actually with a car ride, anyways. So I mean, yeah, I think you're right, but I don't know, I'm just not there yet at all. It's crazy, but that's sick. I mean, that's kind of That's history. Right? That's what I want to know. The last time anyone's had some United States Captain Board designers available at a table at Tinley Park. I know there's people who's produced it, like Garrett DeMeyer. People don't like a lot of people don't know that Derek.
Yeah, he had some last year.
Yeah, but weren't they localities though? They were pure localities. I thought. Like so, I thought.
I'm not sure. Actually, it was 2 years ago, but still, he may have had some last year too. I don't know. I wouldn't.
He has them almost. He's had them like every Tinley for like the last 2 years, from what I've been paying attention to. So, but anyways, so all right, Dimitri. Now I know we were kind of talking about you were just kind of limited because of the ratio, but like Alex was saying, like, are you simply just going to work within your own stock? Like, are you just going to raise what you want to keep and just keep breeding within? Like, there's really nobody out there kind of breeding anything that you'd want to get your hands on or anything like that?
I mean, I have different animals from different mothers and fathers, so I wouldn't want to risk my animals and bring other animals in my collection either.
Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel like anyone who's had success has like a closed off like collection. Like they don't fuck around when it comes to stuff like that. Like Marshall, I mean, shit. When was the last time you had any Condro to your collection, Marshall? When was the last time?
I don't know. 10 years ago.
Damn.
Wow.
Me and Alex Warren 10 minutes ago.
Right? Yeah. I was gonna say that sounds so nice.
We're so reckless right now. We're where we're at. We just don't give a shit. We just want something.
Hey man, we're still building. These guys are established.
It's great. Dimitri here calls himself a fucking noob, and because respect, that's how he feels about himself. But man, he's been in it for years. As far as paying attention and talking to people, and to think about like one of the influences he had was walking by Rico's table. Like, go figure, out of all people, which is like Rico's the GOAT. It's amazing. That's epic.
Oh, nice,
dude.
Yeah.
Dennis McNamara has that as well. He sent me pictures of it. That's fucking epic.
How I learned to feed my Neos.
Wow. What would you say the biggest trick that you learned in that book when it came to feeding Neos? Let's talk about that. What helped you the most?
The tapping. Don't be a pussy. Hit the Neo and get him aggressive.
Dude, it's true, man. Some people
wake them up.
So, but really, did you do it with like hot water technique at all, or is it just like how did you approach like the
I went to I did a chick down. There's a place in South Chicago. They have live little chickens.
Okay.
Just grab 2 little live chickens, euthanize them and just use the feathers, fresh feathers in the freezer, and that was it. They took right away. I didn't use too small of the little red fresh day old pinks. I use like the 3, 4, maybe like a little bigger.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a problem.
Yeah. And these 3, 4 day old pinks, mice pink, they were alive, or they were pre-killed as well, or frozen?
No, I got them from Cold Blooded Cafe actually. Okay.
And did you, now I'm curious, did you like when you thawed those out, do you offer to them hot or no?
I thaw them out in like warm, room temperature water for about 20 minutes, and then I just have a cup with really hot water. Okay, just dip them in there for like about 5 seconds or so. Just get them a little hot, and they'll dip them in a little down feather and give it to them.
Does it say in the book, Dimitri, when to offer a first meal to a chondro, like after it's born and whatnot? Like what you even did,
Through all the years and through listening through everybody and taking, everybody's advice and just mixing it all in a pot and just taking what works best for you. And, you have to try yourself with error and know the babies, and just figure them out yourself. I just waited until they shedded. And a couple days after, I know they're going to start getting hungry. It's an animal. It's got to eat sometime.
Right.
So, and I gave it to them, offered them. So,
but you waited a couple days and you just kind of looked at their behavior or what?
I had some that I did right after because I had 13 of them.
Right.
As they shed, I waited a day, and then those that shed, like let's say 4 of them, I would work with those 4 and knock those 4 out first. And then I waited for the other, let's say 2 or 3 to shed.
Yeah.
And then work with them and feed them. And then that way the routine of feeding 4, 4, and 4
kind of stays in motion.
Easier than, easier than doing 12, 12, 12, you know.
Yeah.
So I
did the whole clutch pretty easy for you to get started?
Pretty easy. I just had one that ate once and it didn't want to eat. And I was like, well, if it ate once, it's going to eat again.
100%.
So I just kept trying. And then now it wants to eat every time I open the tub.
Wow. And daytime, nighttime, will you do nighttime feeding or what do you prefer? Yeah. Sounds so easy and straightforward the way he makes it sound. Jesus. You there, buddy?
And there's a Rico feeding video that him and Greg Stevens did. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Pretty iconic.
That helped out a lot too. I mean, classic methods. I mean, we don't have to try new stuff, you know, old school.
Yeah, definitely. And it also shows to prove that there are some things that are just established, ready to go. Like, you know, you have healthy babies that are meant to be on this earth, and you have ones that don't have that sort of kind of luck, you know. But I mean, because I mean, even you, Marshall, you've had solid clutches and you've had weak clutches. Am I right? Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I would. You know, most of the time, seems like if seems like you have hard clutches and easy clutches. You know.
Do you ever get do you ever get easy clutches one year and then hard clutches the next year from the same female or the same pairing?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, do you feel like, Dimitri, your game plan will always give a female the year off? Like if it lays a successful clutch, do you feel like you're going to want to give it the next year off, even if you have the male for her, or what's your game plan with that?
I think so, because I only have 2 females. I wouldn't risk, you know, doing her back to back and lose one girl, you know. Then I'd be down only to 1. Then I would have to wait 4 to 5 years to see if one of these babies become females. It'll take 4 to 5 years or 6 years to get her to wait. I wouldn't want to breed her too early either.
Yeah. What's the earliest you bred a male, Marshall? Like, how do you know? Like, do you have 18 months? 18 months, and that's because you saw like sperm plugs, or what made you do that?
It was the only male. It was my first clutch. It was the only male I had that was even remotely ready.
Wow. 18.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and the female was 3.
I can almost do that now with the one I got from you, Alex.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm good. I'm waiting.
Dude, so
I don't recommend doing that. Now I'm more on the 5-6 year 5-6 year plan for females. Obviously a male, you know, as soon as they're down, it's not going to hurt to try them, you know. But a female, I think 5-6 years is a good minimum age. Obviously there'll be some females that are big enough at 4, but as a general rule, I think 5 is probably safe.
Yeah, it seems like 5 for females is a really good number, and also 5 for males seems like a good number too. They can breed at 3, but you know, I've tried to breed 3 males at 3 years old, and none of them have gone.
Yeah, but then you have people that like, they'll tell you all this shit about how the young ones have done the job for them, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. All I know is, like, in my heart, I know you can't go wrong if the maturity is on your side.
Right.
That's why I just rather know for sure this fool's old enough to lay pipe. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question.
Yeah, I'd say if he's 4, he's old enough. You know, that seems like it's a pretty good age.
Yeah. And also, like, you know, there's signs that males kind of give you about them roaming and shit like that. Like, I've definitely noticed this time of year, this is why everything's paired up, but the males don't sit still. They're at nighttime, they're everywhere. And I don't know, do the females get active too? Like, if the females have something going on or whatever, if they want to get bred, do you notice females acting a little bit more active? Either Marshall or Alex or Dimitri?
All of my adult breeding females literally stay in the exact same spot. They never move.
Okay.
I don't really notice anything either on the females moving around.
Okay.
Yeah,
My males do.
Yeah, the males.
Yeah, males are crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But your females are chilling too, huh, Dimitri?
Yeah, they just go from side to side to heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't help to notice that when she laid her clutch, she laid it straight on the floor, so there was no egg box or anything that you used, or what did you
I had the egg. I had the egg box. She decided to go underneath the egg box, underneath the towels.
Oh, so she went under the puppy. It was puppy pads that you use, or what do you use?
Yeah, I use puppy pads for her because just a big enclosure. It's much more easier than laying half a roll of paper towels down. I like paper towels. I used to use substrate, and it was just a mess. And then obviously you evolve, and I think it's the most hygienic thing to have paper towels. So easy to clean.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, I like to use a good paper towel. Bounty's my shit.
Yeah.
That shit adds up after a while. I'm telling you right now. It's like, man, you do your taxes and you look how much money you spent on Bounty, and it's like, whoa, dude, that's fucking gnarly. But yeah, I feel you. And man, I don't know, man, because I feel like there's so many things that we get in the way of that kind of prevent us from being successful with getting chondros, right? And some of that could be possibly like, okay, some people think intervening, right? Like not letting that snake maternally incubate and do its thing. Some people have their take on that, but then also like, like for instance, that if a snake's not happy, or if that chondro doesn't understand a nest box or wants nothing to do with it, it could put her in a position to just lay them out anywhere, and she just wants to get them out. So I know from what I'm hearing also that the whole technique of putting them in a rack system, like in a tub, and that ensuring that nothing really happens to those fucking eggs because there's nowhere for her to go. So I don't know how much of that I mean, do you do that, Marshall? I can't remember. Are you one of those who do that or no?
Nah. I just give them a nest box. They don't. Most of the time they use it. Or I've never had one lay eggs outside of the nest box that coiled them up. If they lay them outside the nest box, they just scatter them all over the place,
right?
Or drop them off the perch or whatever. But I would say 70% of the time they use the nest box if you give it to them.
Quite the percentage. Kind of scary. 70%.
That's a guess. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll lock them in the nest box.
Yeah, Garrick. Actually, shout out to Garrick, G from the House of Blues. He told me about because with this girl who laid that terrible clutch. No disrespect, but I'm just saying this girl who just laid the fucking real terrible clutch for me. He told me that he recommended if she goes in that nest box, just cover the hole, and let her just be in. But she didn't even. She went in there and would go out. She wanted nothing to do with that nest box whatsoever, and she laid them the way she did, and it is what it is. But Dimitri, you feel like you will always provide a nest box moving forward, or do you feel like you're just gonna what's your game plan?
Yeah, I just remove the perch a couple days that I know before she's gonna lay. I just remove the perch so she doesn't lay off the perch, and I just put paper, nice towels, soft towels on the bottom, so if she lays on there, they're not gonna shed or anything on the ground off the perch.
Yeah, you're saying you have bad humidity, right? You battle humidity. So what do you do to keep the humidity up? Is it just a humidifier in the room, or you spray a lot, or what do you do as far as?
I spray once or twice a week, and I do 2 to 3 water changes a week. I change my water. I keep fresh water. I think that's the main thing for chondros. They need fresh water.
Yeah,
you got to keep them clean.
Some people laugh at that, just so you know. It's unreal. Marshall's laughing right now. No, I mean, dude, listen, I know that it's time consuming. I really do, especially when you have a bunch of other stuff and it is what it is. But I know, if I have the time to change a water and it needs to be changed, it's going to get fucking changed. I don't care. And then I have this OCD where I'm like, well, I already changed this one's water. And I like to make sure that everyone's fresh water's on the same day at least. So I'll just do everyone's fucking water anyways. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of ridiculous. I do kind of You know, I'll catch myself changing water that I just gave them yesterday by accident, and I'll be like, dude, this focus a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Having a sink close by helps.
Say that again.
Having a sink close by helps.
I have a sink right here. Yeah, that's why I don't give a fuck. It's right here. You know what I mean? So I don't mind it at all. And so, and I'm a big spray advocate. Like I love spraying. I don't do it, I do it as accordingly as I need it. But there's people out there who are anti-spraying. I don't get that. Or Marshall, I don't think you spray at all, right?
I spray the cage. I rarely spray the animal, but I mean, I don't think it hurts them. I just haven't found that I need it.
Spraying works for you, Alex?
Yeah, I spray the animals. If it's a little colder out, I will probably avoid spraying the animal directly. But in the summer, I'll for sure spray them.
Yeah. So as far as what you have held back, as far as what you're gonna keep, where do you feel like is the right time to upgrade the enclosure? Like when would you want your holdbacks to be like in something bigger than what they're in now, Dimitri?
I
mean, because they can live in there for a while. Let me just say. I mean, they 2 years in there at least.
Like these guys here are in this thing. They're about about a year old. So I graduated them into this about a couple months ago. So they're pretty good. So those babies, they'll probably move them into tubs like this in the following months. So give them a little more room.
Man, and people don't understand how this is the ideal way to keep a neonate. Like as much as the outsider looking in are like, well, that's fucked up, or that doesn't let's give it plants and let's give it all this shit. I'm like, no, dude, you gotta chill out. This is what you do. And that's why people understand when someone whips out a Condro and it looks so mint and just perfect, because it's kept very minimal. Like it's just fresh water, perches, gradient with temps, and it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna look amazing.
Yeah, paper towel. That's and the Focus Cube rack I just got for the babies is just awesome. It's built like a tank, man. This thing's awesome.
Shut the sponsor. What you got right there? Is that a June baby or a February baby? Oh my god.
February.
It's okay. Don't be scared. Come closer. Come closer. Let me see that fucking thing.
I don't know why this camera sucks.
It doesn't look too bad though. Ship it. How much you want for that thing, bro? Oh my god. Thing is badass. Fuck. Can't wait for Marshall to produce some Condros this year. It's gonna go down. He ain't gonna sell them, but I'm just happy to see them. You know what I mean? Can't wait.
Dimitri, I don't know if you can show that one you posted the other day, the really high blue one that you produced.
Yeah, show that. I'll be right back. Hey, someone needs to carry it right now. Whoever, either Alex or Marshall. Keep the fire going.
And that comes from blue lineage, doesn't it? You said the mom was comes from the new blue line. Yeah. I don't know if we can see that.
Yeah, this one is the Carpet Man Queen.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, nice.
In really good lighting and good camera quality, that thing just looks amazing. Like that is an unreal looking Condro.
This is one you produced. This is from the
February.
Okay.
That's a good size for not even being a year old.
Yeah, it's got the Carpet Man Queen with Mr. Blue Carolina times that OS High Yellow blood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got all the old bloodlines in there. That's nice.
Yeah, you can see that blue dorsal right there. That thing just looks amazing.
Yeah, I don't think you lose the blue. I think it's going to saturate a little more.
Yeah, they seem like they generally don't lose blue once they gain it.
Yeah.
Black they kind of lose.
Yeah.
I want to pull that snake up actually, because that's literally one of my favorite snakes on your page. Let's see.
Marshall, would you say that snake he has right there could be female?
How are you going to predict that?
Yeah, it's really
Because
hard for me to see.
It's hard, but it's just such a good size for its age.
Yeah.
Both of the ones from February look like they have pretty good size on them.
They're on small mice already.
Yeah, that's pretty good for not even a yearling.
Yeah, so like you were saying, Alex, as far as the blue, there's a certain point where you're going to understand what direction this blue's heading. But that snake you just showed, that's that snake. Is this the same snake, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, and what's the age difference from the snake here than what you just showed right now as far as the difference in age?
I think that was in October I posted that, or November.
Okay, so
now it's 10 months old. It'll be, obviously it'll be a year in February, so or almost 11 months old now.
Yeah, that's a bitchin' ass snake, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely one of my favorites as far as what you've posted. And obviously that's for sure a holdback, right? I would assume.
Yeah, those two I'm keeping those two from my first clutch. Just the predicament of losing all the rest. I wouldn't want to sell any of those.
I don't know. I think Alex is right though. I mean, from what I've seen, because I've raised, not hundreds, but I've raised a lot of neonates to where I've seen things promising female just due to the size and the build at a certain age. And I do think around 2 or 3 years old, you kind of have an idea. But then you also have small females. That's the thing. Like you could easily tell sometimes that's headed towards to be females, but as far as males go sometimes, or I'm sorry, as far as small females go sometimes, it's hard to predict. Like, because I have a snake that is the smallest female I have, and for about 2 years I thought it was a male. And I never had plugs, but I only based it off the size. So I know that whole size thing could be kind of like hard to predict sometimes.
Yeah, you can't really go by that. And I've found I'll try to guess them based on body size, and a lot of people say that if they have like a pronounced spine and they're kind of triangular shaped, that's more leaning towards a male. And when I try to guess and then probe them or guess and then finally get the shed, a shed that proves it one way or the other, I'm wrong about half the time. So
I have a question, especially once it comes down to you having these snakes at a table displayed. Is there a big price difference when it comes to these designers between male and female, or are they going to be sold at the same price?
The Neos?
Yeah, whatever you're going to have available.
I'm going to put them unsexed, sell them unsexed.
Oh, got it. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Marshall, with you, it's a little different, as far as if you do, or I don't know, what's your rule of thumb right now, Marshall? Let's kind of predict some good energy right now and say that you have stuff that you successfully produced, depending on the number, obviously, but what's going to be your game plan as far as how long you're going to wait until you would even consider letting anything go? And I'm talking about anything new that you produce.
I mean, it really just depends on how the season goes, how many I make and how many of everything else I make. I can't, obviously I can't keep everything. But the general rule for me with Condros has always been, or not always, but for the last, for the while, has been keep them until they change color. By that time, you usually know what sex they are. But if I end up with 30 neonates, I'm not going to keep all 30. And I would basically sell them unsexed.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, man, I really want to go to Tinley now. Damn, I want to see what's gonna go down, bro. I'm really curious. Now, yeah, I mean,
they're very diverse. All the Neos. Some of them are patternless almost. Some have big yellow diamonds. They're really beautiful animals. I would be blessed if somebody buys one and it grows to be a beautiful animal for them, and they add it into their collection.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, it could. One thing you love about the Condros is like a neonate could change directions as far as what it's changing into, and really blow people's minds. But from from what I understand, like if you have two awesome, amazing parents, I mean, the odds are because like look at Garrick from the House of Blue, right? So he, from what I've seen, all those neonates look like they're going to go the distance. And correct me if I'm wrong that they don't. But Marshall, like, have you had a clutch of two amazing parents where some of the babies just didn't turn out to be as nice, or is it that normally not the case if the two parents are amazing looking?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the nicer the parents are, the better in general the babies are going to be. But yeah, you'll have a few that aren't as nice as the parents out of a group of a dozen or however many he's got. They're not all going to be better. So,
yeah, what you got, Dimitri? Ooh, man, damn, they look big, bro. They look like they're like well off. Like they look like they're starting off really well.
he said they've had 30 meals already. So,
30 meals? I didn't hear that part. Damn, epic.
Yeah.
And so the neonates are every 7 days, or how often are they eating?
Every 5.
Every 5 days.
Every 5.
How did I miss this? Every 5 days.
Every 5.
And are you getting bowel movements every time, or are you just keep feeding even if they don't shit?
Oh no, they constantly going. So pain in the ass cleaning 12 tubs.
So they're always shitting, is what you're saying?
Always.
Do you ever have one that doesn't shit?
No.
Wow.
What are they eating right now? Are they on hoppers?
No, they're it was peach fuzzies.
Peach fuzzies every 5 days.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I'm just thinking, because listen, we all know that chondros are fine if they don't shit between meals. They'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's also like, I don't want my chondros to hold their shit. I want my chondros to shit more often if I'm having one with issues. But I'm wondering what what would be the reason behind that? Why would a chondro not shit?
dehydrated. That's probably the biggest reason, I would guess.
Hydration?
Yeah.
I don't spray my needles. I just have the saturated paper towel.
Yeah, I just have a big water dish, because I use, shout out to David Brahms, shout out to the sponsor, but I use purchase from the Reptile Perch, and has the ability for me to drop that 16-ounce deli cup in there, and that does quite the job as far as humidity goes. And I know it's drinking, I think. I would hope so. With all my fucking energy putting into water changes, it better be drinking. So I know that you're looking to hit Tinley with 6 neonates, but are we looking at you setting a goal to maybe every Tinley, if you have productions, you want to start just being that guy to have chondros at Tinley? Is that what you're looking to do at some point?
Some point, why not?
No, I mean, fuck, it's amazing. Are you kidding me?
Street. It'll be a dream.
One of my dreams, legit, because I was so impressed when I would see Rico's table and see him in pictures, and I'm like, because you don't see that shit anymore, and I'm like, I would love someday to be able to have stuff enough that I have the balls to just say, fuck it, I'm gonna go to a show, but my goal was to not even sell it, like just I have this to show you guys, this is my work. You could buy a shirt, but you cannot buy a neonate. That would be my goal. That would be my dream. But man, that's epic, bro. For you to already having that a part of your game plan is really awesome. Because I do know the shows are missing one thing, and that's vendors other than ball python vendors, for sure.
Yeah, I just gotta find a display case. That's it.
Marshall could help you out. Talk to Marshall. I don't think Marshall's ever vending chondros at a show ever again. So you could talk to Marshall. Maybe you could work a trade or something. I don't know. I mean, fuck.
Then you'd only have 5.
But he'll have a display. Hey, how many snakes can those how many slots are there again in that display case, Marshall?
The focus cube one?
Oh no, I'm talking Marshall. His old school chondro display case.
It's like, it's the same as the new ones. It's like 5 slots, and then like in like a box, there's three of those. So like one box is three different cases with hold five apiece.
Now, I'm assuming after the show, you would just take them home with you, or will you leave them there overnight?
No, I'll definitely take them home with me.
Yeah, good call. Thank God.
Yeah.
So what's your take on bioactive and people who kind of go all out with their chondros? I mean, are you cool with that? Do you feel like something that you would do someday, or is that not really your thing?
I mean, I can't say because that's how I started. That's my first cage was bioactive. The way I bought the whole cage from the reptile house. It was a dirt, plants, everything in it.
Wow. And that was a setup for how many years?
A couple years. And then I moved to the cypress mulch.
And even back then, you were just feeding them mice. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
Still check more over the mice thing. That's crazy.
I do give the females, like, sometimes. I mean, when I was beefing her up, I did give her some rat pups.
Okay, but that's a rarity, is what you're saying. That's not something. That's,
yeah, not like I think because there's so much filled with milk, it's like rather than a large mouse, more calcium adult mouse. I don't know. I never had any issues. So
all right,
why change something? You're not having no issues, no problems.
No, I mean that's kind of like a huge rule of thumb that a lot of people don't listen to, and they continue to change shit and kind of just go down a rabbit hole. And Marshall, I'm curious, man. You've had your ways of doing things, and you kind of, I don't want to say you're stuck in them, but you do your thing. But none of this kind of encourages you to maybe do less rats and more mice with even your adult females at some point. Like none.
Oh, I've done it. I've done strictly mice for a while.
Okay. Well,
I don't do it. I don't do it now. I mean, now I do with whatever I've got. It tends to be rats more often, like this time of year, because my baby ball pythons are eating all my mice. But whenever I have adult mice, I'll give them 2 or 3 instead of a rat.
So if Marshall, let's just say you had however many rats or mice. Let's just say you just had the option to pick however much you wanted. What would you do?
I'd probably mix it up. Because it just for again, for me, time wise, it's quicker to feed 1 rat than it is to feed 3 mice.
Yeah. And Alex, you're comfortable kind of going the ASF route. That's kind of why because that's kind of the best of both worlds, and it's nothing too giant. But that's your program right now as far as what you're going to be feeding all your chondros at some point. Yeah.
Well, as of right now, everything is on mice and rats, and I just started my ASF colony. So hopefully one day I'll just be self-producing ASFs solely, and everything will be on ASFs one day. And I just fed my first ASF off, so I'm proud of myself.
You're all stoked.
Yeah.
They're quiet motherfuckers, huh? You don't hear a peep. They're gone.
Dude, they're great. You walk into that room, you don't smell anything. I never hear anything. Like they take me like 10 minutes a week. Like they're easy. But then again, I only have 1 colony. But I also have kind of had a question because the babies keep disappearing. Are they eating each other, or what's going on there?
Yeah. So, okay. Like the entire everything's getting eaten, or just some?
Most of them. Like I've got.
Okay. So you got somebody you either need to find out who's doing that and kill them, or you might have to kill the whole, like an ASF advocate or someone who knows how to breed these will tell you to kill the whole colony off and start over, because they learn off each other, and once one picks up off the other, that thing never leaves. Like it's always going to be someone killing. From what I heard, I'm testing that right now because I had that.
Right.
And I found the one that was marking them, and I fucking killed that one right away. And so now I'm kind of keeping an eye, and they just dropped a couple litters, and I'm keeping an eye, and I saw maybe a couple out that were dead, but sometimes they just die. And but if it's the whole litter getting wiped out, then dude, yeah, that's that's a bad habit that someone is trying to fucking teach to others or whatever. So
it's weird because like I don't see any blood or anything, and I know they're not getting out because they're in a really high secured tub. They can't even climb out. So
wait, how big? What do you mean? How big are they? How big are they when they're disappearing? What are we talking here?
well, I mean, so the biggest ones that I have are like probably like a little bit bigger than a hopper, and there was 4 of them in there at one time. And
those got out then, bro. What are you talking about? Once they get that big, they're not going to get eaten by the mom or anything. They're good to go from the most part, I would think. Or you would see some sort of like evidence. You would see like a foot or something. Did you look around? Did you see anything?
I didn't see anything. Maybe one did get out. I don't know.
ASF's running around his house right now.
Hey, man. If it happens, it happens.
This is epic.
No, but also like I have had like litters disappear as well. So I know like there's also like some cannibalism going on or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
I don't know.
From what I've heard, you got to murk that whole entire colony once that happens. From what I'm being taught, I don't know. So
right.
Dirty.
I don't know if there was like if they weren't getting enough like protein or something. Like there's something different I could feed them, or they just enjoy killing their babies.
Well, I do know that's kind of why you implement like a hard-boiled egg. I mean, I'm not saying you need to, but I do know like there's a bunch of stuff you need to provide to these goddamn things.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I've been doing that because you know when I talked to you told me put a hard-boiled egg in there. I put a couple in there every week, and
yeah.
So I don't know.
Dang it, crazy. Now Dimitri, yeah, it's no joke. Dimitri, you solely Condros, right? Nothing else. Just that's all. That's your game. Your bread and butter Condros.
That's it. That and jujitsu.
And jiu-jitsu. Damn, man. Hey, respect to that, man. How long you been rolling for?
Since 2011.
2011. Yeah. And do you teach throughout the week, or what's your like? How often are you like?
I used to go a lot more. Now it's just like a couple times a week. I don't teach. I just got my black belt this June from Carlson Gracie.
Right. That's it.
It's just a lifestyle, like you said. Just eat good, train.
Yeah.
Enjoy life. Don't grow old so fast.
For reals. What do you do? What's your day job, or what do you do during the day?
I'm blessed. Thank God. My family owns a grocery chain, so I work for them.
Nice.
So I'm blessed with that. A lot of respect to them, and thank God, I have a family like that.
God is good, man. That's awesome. So like groceries, like it's kind of like your overall general grocery store, or is it like a specific like
yeah, it's sort of like a Whole Foods.
Got it. There's a time of day where I'm super hungry, so I'm thinking about what I could shop and get there right now because I'm fucking. Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I mean, do you work a lot of hours? Because then family business. I could assume that you're in there a lot. You know what I'm saying? Or what's your schedule like?
Yeah, 5 days a week, 2 days off. So that's good. Keep the insanity,
Yeah, you got to. You have a big family?
No, just me and my girl. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, obviously we have a huge Greek family. Yeah, of course.
I was gonna say, like with your parents, do you have a bunch of like as far as the family that's involved with the grocery chain, like is it a bunch of family that works, or is it just?
Oh yeah, it's spread out. Yeah, cousins, my brother, my girlfriend works there too. It's everybody. My dad used to work there for a little bit, and he retired. So, it's good. At least we have a job. Thank God.
No, for sure, man. Right, Marshall? Marshall, I asked him if he'd ever quit, and he said no. And goddamn, it was probably the best answer anyone's ever said to that question. Because now look at times,
right.
Oh man.
So MJ, when I was training jiu-jitsu and after Rico died, I stopped going to the show, and I didn't realize that during that time there was that huge Nido virus. When was it? Around 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there, maybe 16. I don't remember. I just completely stopped going to the show. Just started focusing more on jiu-jitsu, just training harder and harder. And it was around COVID time that Joe Janovich, he hit me up and he's like, "Hey, brother, He's like, you still got those animals that, you know, you got from me and Montini back in the day. I was like, yeah, of course. He's like, man, did you hear what happened? I was like, no. He's like, yeah, a lot of people lost their collection due to Nido and all this horrible stuff. I was like, oh, wow. He's like, yeah, you got some nice blood there. He's like, why don't you start breeding them? And that's who gave me the idea to go for it. So it was around 2021 or something like that. I tried for the first time and put a male and female together, and nothing happened. And then I did it again the following year. And for some reason here in Chicago, it was 90 degrees in November.
Yeah,
So,
I remember that. I remember that weird spike. There was weird temperatures all throughout the country. I remember that.
So nothing happened with, I think, because the animals didn't chill right. Nothing happened with that second time. So in the third time that I finally tried, you know, it happened. So I was lucky. I was like, wow, I did it. You know, I was so happy. You know, so I think
you've got some really good old school bloodlines for sure. You don't hear a lot of people working with some of that stuff anymore.
Thanks, Marshall. So, like, you know, like I think, you know, from not going to the show and not maybe getting any new animals and bringing them in, maybe they would have been Nido positive. I would have lost all my collection.
Oh, you eliminated a lot of risk by doing that. Like, I mean, but also you're in a good place. I mean, and you're not like, you don't have a breeder mindset, you know, during this time either. You're just raising up stuff that you like. You're really just enjoying it. And that's kind of what makes this so awesome. It's kind of a cool story because you never really had like a dire need to get these things breeding. It just kind of happened when you got the right push. And then also look what happened behind it. And then also, like Marshall's saying, you have stuff that no one talks about nowadays, or rarely you ever even hear about. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. So yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate and grateful that happened that way. And in patience, I think, is the best thing you can do with these animals, because if you rush with these animals, it's nothing but loss. Yeah, nothing but loss.
Because you can't rush the experience. You know what I'm saying? And that's where problems go downhill when anyone tries to rush shit. Because you're trying to rush something that you don't even understand what you're looking at yet, or what's happening. And you know, a lot of these times, man, it's like, I mean, for the most part, a lot of people aren't getting, you know, well, I think now it's different, but let's talk about, like, in the last few years, a lot of people mostly were getting imports or getting stuff that they could just find, you know, and then trying to go off of that. And that's not saying that's not a bad thing. That could go in your favor, but then it's also a big, you know, shot in the dark too, because going imports, you don't really know what you're going to get. You know, but when you have something that is United States captive born and bred, and you're just raising it, feeding it the way you feed it, and it works, and then once that thing comes down to breed and it's mature, dude, that's why your results aren't bad at all. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with because of patience and the maturity of your snakes. But I mean, we don't know for sure. It's not. Yeah, what does Bill say? It's and what's that fucking tone? That word that I can't say.
Anecdotal.
Got Alex here tonight. God, he'd probably be saying that left and right now. I'm not sure.
Dude, Bill be dropping some heavy ass words that I don't know.
But no, I agree. That's a good point, and that, you know, a lot of people rush it, man. You can't rush it. You got a female that laid when she was, what did you say, 10 years old or 11 years old, something like that. I mean.
Yeah, the first female, she was 10, and then the second one, she's 12.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not a lot of people have the patience for that.
And this going this season, I mean, I've learned so much. I'm ready. You know, I'm anticipating that I know what I'm gonna do, and I already know what I'm gonna do. So beef them up a little bit. I take them off. You know, cool them. You know, hopefully the weather's good. That also plays a big factor too, because if it's hot here, it ain't happening. So, I don't know, for some reason. I think that when it's really warm, I think the females, like, maybe they reabsorb their ovulation, or they don't ovulate, or they're not chilled enough. I don't know. Maybe they can read what's going on outside.
Okay, well, listen, Marshall, you could kind of talk on this because you keep multiple species, and from what I've heard, certain species have windows throughout the year where you could get them to go for you. Am I right, Marshall?
Yeah, sure.
Condros have what you would say 2 windows. You would say like you have 2 good opportunities within a 12-month period to get a Condro to breed, or do you even know that statistic?
No, I don't know. I mean, somebody we had on, I think it was Vin Russo a few weeks ago, was saying that he's like, has found that his chondros are like ball pythons, where they lay for the ball pythons for sure. Because I listened to I don't know, I think you had Justin on one time, and he was saying, was one of the first times he was on, and he was talking about how 90% of his females will lay plus or minus within 1 month every year.
Right.
And ever since I've started tracking that, I've noticed the same thing with mine. I haven't really gone back and dug through my records and, looked at the chondros, but the chondros that I do have, that I have in my software, I've gone back and looked, and they've been almost to the day, the same day every year. I mean, like definitely within a month. Now, that's not to say they wouldn't go another time. But and it could just be that I tend to do like the 1 year on, 1 year off thing, so that could have something to do with it. There's so many variables. Who knows?
I do feel a lot better in the case where, like, Dimitri was saying he's in a position where he has, the ratio doesn't work out to where even if he wanted to, he can't put nothing more than 2 females, right? And I'm happy. I'm happy in that case for me, because I don't want to have to feel like I need to breed a female every year, like, because we all know that it takes a lot out of them, and a lot of people from what I know who breed year after year, or at least attempt to, that female makes it to 10 years old and she's done,
Oh yeah, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, right? And I feel like, God, like why wear? Like, I don't know. For me, like, I'd rather just have options to where, like, you're good this year or even next year. Like, let's let you chill for a little bit, because let's talk about a snake real quick, to where I feel like if you don't give it enough break, more likely that snake's going to do something drastically fucked up once it goes the next time. And I'm talking about a basin, bro.
Oh yeah, I learned that one the hard way.
Casper, you, Alan, there's a list of people who feel really solely that it's the break, that, like, because females that they lost had laid for them before.
Yeah.
And I think Casper gave his female 3 years off or 2 years off or something. And I don't think he lost a female, but he just didn't get good ratio or something like that. And he did.
No, his was the sib to mine, and they were almost on the same schedule. So,
right.
Fortunately, he didn't lose his, but she had a much smaller litter than she did the first time.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
My boy Alan lost. My boy Alan and Sock lost one. I think Sock lost one last year too.
Yeah.
It's brutal, bro. But I also think, like, other than that being hard, just longevity. If a snake's meant to be on this earth for 30 years, 10 years, that's not. I don't think that's good. If you could kind of give that year off, and it's going to have a huge difference. I personally much rather have that route, even though other people have other things. But in you, Dimitri. So, for instance, the next time you'll pair your females will be when?
This coming fall.
This coming fall.
Yeah, 2024.
And that's even for the girl who laid for you in June.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for her a little bit after, maybe like December, January. I'm gonna chill and see how it goes. I'll put the male in there. If he goes, he goes. Well, because theoretically, Marshall, right? If his female laid in June, there's really no point for him to pair in December. You would say, Marshall, or would you pair in December?
Yeah,
anyway?
I would try. I would look at when they locked the last time and pair them up around the same time.
That's smart. And you kept all those records. I'm assuming, Dimitri. It seems like you're good at keeping records, but did you keep like lock records?
Yeah, everything, all the lock records, everything. I keep them all written down.
OG shit,
yeah.
Right there.
So that'll be good to go and refer back to that, and just pair them up at the same time again.
I mean, if it works, even if you take photo pictures and you can just scroll back to your photo and just look at the date too. That's
what I do.
Yeah.
God, that saves my ass a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too.
But when I write down everything in my notebook, I just make sure that those dates are correct so that I know, you know. I've written both of my clutches down just to keep them on notes. To have them for reference.
I have a wrap-up question for you, and then Alex, if you want to get one ready, and Marshall, that'd be great. My question for you, Dimitri, who's, for you personally, like, you know, just for yourself, right? Who's the most influential chondro breeder for you as far as like that impacts the work that you do today? You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but it has to be someone still alive. All right, it can't be, because we all know. I mean, that would have been an easy one, right? But let's talk about someone who's still on Earth with us today.
There's a lot of great guys and a lot of great people producing a lot of beautiful animals. Well, you took the person away. I was going to say Rico, but
no, I know. I almost hit you with the hot seat questions. I feel like, but you know, it is what it is. I want to know, and you know,
there's a lot. I mean, you can't just say one person. There, Greg Stevens created a lot of great animals. I mean, Greg Maxwell, of course. Marshall, he's got a great animals, great collection. Bill's creating some awesome stuff right now. Alex is on his way, you know. It's just a lot of people. It's just a big melting pot of all cool chondro guys, which I think in the next 5 years, chondros are going to blow up.
Yeah. Amen, brother. I like that.
And I hope they do. I hope that, you know, they bring it back and people start bringing chondros to shows and stuff.
Me too. Right on, man. All right, who wants to go next, Alex or Marshall?
Alex, go ahead, man.
So I know you said you weren't going to add any, you don't have any plans of adding any other snakes to your collection, but if you could add one bloodline to your collection from anywhere in the world, what would it be?
I would go with a tiger stripe. I like the look of that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I like the look of how it looks.
And that's Marshall. That's what you got going on, right? Don't you have tiger stripe stuff? Am I correct me if I'm wrong?
I do, yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
That is a name also that you don't hear too much happening, right? That's also kind of like a OG bloodline right there.
I don't know if it's OG. It's not as OG as some of the stuff that Dimitri's got. It is one of the last bloodlines that Rico produced a lot of stuff from. And there's not a lot of people out there that have it. I mean, and Dave D's got some of it. I've got some. I think John Irby maybe has a couple things. There's not a ton of people that are working with it. But it's not as old school as, you know, some of the stuff Dimitri was saying earlier. I mean, some of those are like old school from, like, you know, when the complete Condro was published. Some of those clutches were, you know, some of those breedings were, you know, probably I don't remember for sure, but probably featured in the book.
Damn. That's pretty heavy. I'm not gonna lie, man. Shit. Marshall, what you got for Dimitri wrap-up question?
I would also add a little.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Dimitri.
I would also add a little that, and just to see if we get some black animals. That's an amazing new line coming out.
Which one?
What line?
The sickness line.
Oh,
yeah.
Just to see some black. I love the look of black and blue.
Yeah.
You hear that, Bill? Oh yeah, Bill's not here. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, the trick with black, I think, is to you got to find a bloodline that it keeps the black, because there's a lot of bloodlines where they explode with black right as they're changing color, and then it kind of fades out, you know. And then there's other where it starts to kind of come in kind of slowly, scale by scale, like a complete scale is black, and then that keeps multiplying. And on those animals, I would say the black tends to stay, but the ones that just kind of get like it's not like a complete black scale, you know. It's kind of like somebody took an airbrush and kind of sprayed black all over them. On those, They get real black real fast, and then as they age, it kind of fades out.
Yeah. Jaeger is a really good one for high black. You know, he has a lot of black speckling on it, but he's produced a lot of animals that have more black than he does. You know, obviously one of them being the sickness.
Yep.
But you know, a really good one, in my opinion, if you want high black, would be Contagion. He has been pairing up this year. I think he actually kind of slowed down a little bit, but Contagion is the closest thing to the sickness that Bill has so far. Yeah. And I think that would be a really good animal if you're going for high black.
And that's a pretty solid black animal, isn't it?
Contagion has a lot of black on him. Yeah, he has a lot of black. Not like, I would say he's just maybe a step down from the sickness.
You know where Contagion's at on Bill's page, I'm assuming, Alex?
Go down.
I'm just curious.
Go down.
Ooh, like, is it this one to the right?
Click it. No, that's not. That's a Jaeger biscuit offspring.
Huh.
He's on my page at the low. If you go down a little bit.
You haven't posted on your page?
Yeah, go down. I haven't posted him in a while, but he's on there.
Where's he at?
Go down. Keep going. No. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Maybe close to the bottom, honestly. Oh, wait, go up. He's right there. I just saw him. On the left. Keep going. Right there. Above Aquaberry.
This one right here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Contagion.
Holy shit.
Now that's a dream snake.
Oh my God. And this was a long, so I mean, what's it look like now?
He still looks like that. He still looks like that.
Did he get any more black? It's exactly the same. Like, he hasn't changed at all, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much looks exactly like that. You know, just a ton of black on him.
Oh my God, that thing's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and you know, again, that comes from Jaeger, and then the sickness. So it just comes from many generations of black. So if you're really looking for high black, getting a neonate from Contagion would be your best option.
Right. And that's Jaeger's son or his grandson?
That's Jaeger's grandson. That's the sickness's son.
Damn.
Yeah.
That snake's the franchise right there. That snake is an important snake.
Yeah.
And this is Contagion's first year breeding.
Yeah, he tried to breed him last year, but I don't think he locked up. But he's locked up this year. But he's actually kind of slowed down a little bit, I think, in the past few weeks.
How old is he?
So he is 4.5.
Oh wow, he's at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, some are slow starters though, man. I mean, that's why I don't know, but we'll find out.
Yeah, the flu's kind of taken his place.
Wow, must cool to have fucking like star players, just like whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Bill was saying, I can't believe the flu is my backup male.
A lot of NFL stories like that, just so you know.
Yeah.
Marshall, what do you got? Wrap up question for Dimitri.
So I know you said that you only are keeping chondros right now. Is that I guess, what was it about chondros that have you kept other snakes before chondros, or this is your first? I know you said you mentioned a boa before that, but
I had a boa. But what got me was just wanting to own a blue snake one day. So beautiful.
You don't have to repeat yourself, Dimitri. I'm sorry.
So do you have any thoughts of branching out into any other species, or you think you'll just keep it just chondros?
I think I'm gonna keep it just chondros. I want to grow my collection. I want to see how far I can go in the next 5 years, raising some of these babies. And hopefully I can get some more clutches coming up this year and slowly just grow like that.
I'm not mad at that.
I wouldn't mind. I would definitely, if I could, I would definitely get into basins. Those are beautiful. I gotta admit, those are.
That's it. That's an even better answer. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Marshall talked about this. Like, huh, Marshall, wouldn't it be nice just to walk into a room only with chondros and basin? That's it. Like, that's it. There's nothing else. Man,
Be nice.
What a load of work that's out the door.
Yes, that'd be nice.
Regardless, I have 2 clutches. I still feel like I'm an amateur in this game because there's just so much that you need to know and learn, and you always keep learning new things.
Yeah. Well, you're lucky in that, or I say lucky. You're fortunate in that both you've got something to show from both of the clutches. One, you've got 2 nice babies, or they're not really babies anymore. You got 2 nice animals from, and the other one you got whatever 12 or 13, which is pretty freaking awesome. That's
Thanks, Marshall.
13 nice babies from good bloodlines. I mean, that's pretty strong.
But from someone who deserves it. Like, I love it. Like, no offense to like early beginner luck, like, people who just got here 3 years ago. No offense, Alex. I know he's one of them, but I'm just saying, no offense to that. But when you have a story of someone who just like, man, I love the snake for what it was, no plans on breeding, but this legendary person called me, asked me if I still had it, and convinced me to breed it, and this is what happened. This is like the perfect story. I feel like this is fucking awesome. But also, I mean, it's a lot of work, but also I feel like, there's still more to come, like, because Bill Stiegel, I'll never forget how he said his first clutch was a fucking breeze, and then the next 2 after that were fucking hell on earth.
Yeah.
So Godspeed, bro. We listen, we need more statistics. We need more numbers, and we're going to find out, because I know, Dimitri, you'll be back on this show. You're very relevant. I'm very happy to see where you're at in the Condro community, because a lot of people fuck with you, man, from what I could tell. And this was a great episode. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, MJ. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I figure since you're my homie too, why don't we end this episode with some hot seat questions? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then, yes, of course, we got to include my homies, Alex and Marshall. So Alex, Marshall, you guys will end the last 2 hot seat questions if you just want to get one loaded. A little bit, Marshall, can we get a little creative, please? If you don't mind, can we don't ask him if he kept anything else before Condros. Just kidding. All right, hot seat questions. Get the likes up for Dimitri and for this segment. But Dimitri, the way this works, the quicker the better. You ready or what?
Let's rock and roll.
All right, hot seat questions coming in hot. Let's go. Favorite locality Condro, Dimitri?
Biak.
Least favorite locality Condro?
Aru.
Frozen thought or live?
Live.
A cut or no cut?
Cut.
On what day?
I gotta look at the notes. I think I cut on day 52 or 53 at 86.5.
Respect. Pre first shed meal or post first shed meal?
After shed.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Boo imports.
Wow. I love that. That was gangster. What about this? One reptile you would like to import anywhere around the world, what would it be?
Shit. If I could have it, a Komodo dragon.
There you go.
I love that. All right. What about one reptile that you could think of that should not be imported ever? Like, leave it alone. Don't touch it.
Burmese pythons.
Oh. Amen, brother. Florida, you hear that one? All right. Moving forward. Yay sports or boo sports?
Sports.
Favorite sport of all time?
Football.
Favorite football team of all time?
Bears.
The Bears.
Come on, the Bears.
The Bears.
The
I
Bears.
like the Bears, man. I'm a Raider fan, but I've always liked the Bears. I always liked that team. Man, awesome. All right. Steak or fish?
Steak.
Just questions. I'm sorry. Just kidding. Favorite cut of steak, Dimitri?
Bone-in ribeye.
Nice. Favorite genre of music?
I like reggae.
Nice. Favorite reggae artist?
Peter Tosh.
Nice. You fuck with Don Carlos?
He's cool too. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna send you some reggae music that I really fuck with after this episode. Reggae is like, that's in my blood, bro. I love that shit. How about this? West Coast rap or East Coast rap, if you had to pick?
West Coast.
Favorite West Coast rapper of all time?
That's a hard one. I don't know. Too short.
Too short. Beautiful. All right.
Is that
What did you say, Marshall?
No, sorry, go ahead. Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
No, I got to hear what this question is. You already fucked up. You already interrupt. So what were you going to say?
I didn't know Too Short was West Coast.
Yeah, he's from the Bay. What do you mean?
Oh, I didn't know.
Too Short's from the Bay, dog. All right. Little word association. Say the first thing to come to mind. You ready? Milk.
Cookies.
Stuck shed.
Soak it.
Nido virus.
Fuck that. Mites? Never, I don't know what that is. I never had them.
God bless you, brother. FedEx shipping.
I only did it once, FedEx. I didn't have a problem.
Okay, last but not least, before we go to the co-host, coolest reptile podcast in the world.
Trap Talk, baby.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Alex, hit him. Not physically, I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's the last guy I'd want to hit. You have to get rid of one. High blue or a high black?
Wow, dude. That was vicious. Oh. It's like you almost need both.
I would do the high blue.
Wow.
You would get rid of high
I would do
blue?
the high blue.
Yeah,
I would love to have a black Condro. That would be a dream.
Yeah,
wow.
I would do the same.
All right.
Marshall.
All right, I can keep it simple. Heavy pattern, baby, or no pattern?
Patternless.
There you go.
Wow. Those are the special ones, obviously, from what I can tell.
Those are the ones.
Yeah. Man.
Especially when they have those little like tiger stripes along their body.
Mm-hmm.
Then you know they're going to be special growing up.
Yep. Well, this was a special episode. Like I said, Dimitri, it's awesome to finally have you come on Trap Talk and just kind of get to know you better, man. And I got to say, I value this episode. Just your passion and your patience. More importantly, you're very humble. And I feel like I'm going to learn a little bit off this episode as far as reminding myself to be humble. Even when you have a little bit of success, it's always good to be humble in the Condro game, man. So I appreciate you so much. We had just shy of 70 people tapped in tonight. So what do you like to say to all the love and support out there?
Man, thank you, everybody. And I'll see everybody at Tinley. March, baby.
Yeah, man.
I'm bringing the Condros back.
Bring your credit cards.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no deposits. Pay in full, motherfuckers.
Right.
Also, by the way, Dimitri, do you always plan on being private, or do you feel at some point you'll go to like the open public Instagram side of things? Just for anyone out there.
Yeah, I like to keep it private because I don't like those people following me that I don't even know, and I mean, whoever follows me and asks for my acceptance, I always follow them back. So I'm not hating on like that,
Yeah. No, are you okay if I put your Instagram at the bottom of the description?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. Anybody who wants to follow me, of course, definitely.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much. Everyone, please, if you want, and I suggest, go give my man Dimitri a follow. His link to the Instagram is in the description below. But give it up for my boy Dimitri, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wrap.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Alex.
Hey,
Thanks,
No problem.
Hey, happy New Year,
Yeah,
bro.
man. Have a good night.
If
Happy
I
New Year,
make it,
guys.
if I make it to Tinley in March, I'll bring my gi.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take you down to headquarters.
Yeah, but don't hurt me. All right, I'll talk to you
Nah,
soon.
man, we'll have fun.
All right, bro. Peace out.
All right, take care, guys.
What a fucking awesome guy, man. That was a great episode. But Marshall, you kept kind of making it known that his bloodline is no joke. It's some OG shit, huh?
Yeah, for sure. You just don't, names I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
But I remember him being. I can't picture the exact snakes, but like Carpet Man Queen and obviously TW Blue. He had quite a few that he named, You know, I guess when your stuff's all 10, 12 years old, you know, that's what was hot back then.
What's crazy is, Marshall, a lot of these people that we're talking about were your friends. Like, I mean, you know, we're talking about an era that you are very familiar with because you were in it.
Sure.
Does a lot of this stuff just seem like it was yesterday? Like, can you remember and just think back about a lot of these shows that you used to do and all that? I'm just curious.
I wouldn't say it seems like yesterday, but yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't seem like it was 10. Well, I don't know. You know, man, so much has happened with Condros over the last decade. You know, the Nido virus thing was pretty traumatic for a lot of people. You know, obviously losing Rico was a big deal. So, you know, in a way, it does kind of seem like it's been a while. You know, this year coming up, I'll be 10 years that Rico's been gone. So
Dude, it's already been 4 years since we lost Forrest.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, fucking shit does happen quick. But yeah, you know, I want to ask Alex, what do you think about tonight's episode, Alex? You know, especially because you referred this guy to me, even though I already was on it. You already knew that this guy was packing some heat. But what'd you think of tonight?
I thought he did great. You know, I think he's got a lot to offer. You know, he seems like I think he's got more knowledge than he lets on.
Yeah.
You know, he seemed a little reluctant to actually let you know what he knows. You know, because he's had a lot of conversations with, you know, legendary people, and he's been doing this for a long time. You know, 13 years is a long time.
Yeah. And for someone to wait that long, a decade before breeding, I think that's epic.
Yeah. It really shows you that he just genuinely likes the animals. You know, he just genuinely cares for the animals. He doesn't really care about the money or anything like that.
I will put $1 million, not that I have it, I'm just saying, I would put $1 million on the line that there's not one person out there who bought a ball python 10 years ago and told himself, I don't need to breed this thing. I'm going to wait 10 years and then bred it. And it's now their foundation projects for everything that they're doing. There's no way in hell. I will fucking swear to God, ain't no one taking that bet because you're lying to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's what shows the beauty. This is why I love Condro.
That's not a fair comparison, though. I mean, they're too different. You can't compare.
But I like that I like that Condros aren't like that. Is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I like that Condros. Yeah. They're looked at as, like, for the most part, if the outsider looking in comes up on a Condro, they're not even thinking of breeding. They're thinking of, like, I just want to keep this and enjoy this thing because it's more of the surrealness that they own that versus, like, well, what can I breed it to? I mean, the ones who are that whole, let me breed this thing quick, are the ones who are coming from another department of breeding, you know? And they're
but it's also a species that you can sit on for 10 years and the bloodlines are still relevant and still maybe even more so than they were at the time because now they're rare. You sit on a ball python bloodline for 10 years, the snake, you know, you probably lost, you know, you lost money on it because there's
50 times what you paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a million more of them now. Yeah. Whereas with this, it's the opposite here. You know, there's way less of them.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting to see, you know, just regular locality chondros just go up in price. You know, even pure sarongs from 5 years ago were, you know, well under $1,000 captive bred, and now they're over $1,000 captive bred. And you look at pastel ball pythons, and they just have tanked.
Easy, Alex. You don't own any ball pythons because so you can't really just shit on them. Like only people
who
own ball pythons if you are actually in the game. So you got to relax, buddy. You're gonna get some people.
I used to own ball pythons. Thank you very much.
You did? When was it?
Yeah.
Before Bill?
No, I had one from Justin.
Whoa! So you almost went there? Like you were almost gonna go there?
I was there, and then I was like, "Fuck this! I'm just going green tree."
Wow, Jesus! What was the one steak you got from Justin?
It was a dreamsicle line. You know who I sent it to? I sent it to Matt.
Matt Summers?
Matt Summers. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I was like, here, bro. You just take this. We'll work out the pricing later.
Okay, so shout out to my boy Matthew Summers, and he's all our friends. But I had to take it to the extreme of telling him there's rumors that he's getting out of the reptile game to get him to respond to a text message because he wasn't responding to my text messages. And I'm like, God damn it. I was like, Matthew, you're getting out of the reptile game. People are talking. And he's like, then he responded. He's like, that's bullshit. I'm like, all right, good. Just making sure you're still here, buddy. What the fuck's going on? But yeah, I guess he's not vending, and that breaks my heart. So no Matthew Summers this weekend, but he's still with us. He's dodging the market right now. he's chilling.
I mean, I can't blame him, bro.
No, yeah, he's literally like concentrating on his chondros and his emeralds because he has a little bit of a, he's growing.
Does he?
Yeah,
he's getting into chondros and I know he had one chondro. I didn't know he had emeralds.
No, he has. I think he has an emerald, if not two, and he has at least 4 chondros. I think now.
Wow.
Yeah, so proud of him.
Seems like more and more people are switching over to chondros.
Oh yeah, man. I wonder why. Coolest reptile podcast in the world. Anyways, listen, I had a good time tonight. You guys are awesome. Let's start with Alex. Alex, we had just shy of 70 people in tonight. So what do you have to say to all the love and support?
Thanks for coming. It was awesome. It was fun. I want to give a shout out to you, MJ, for always bringing me on and always showing me support. For me just coming into this, I've had one clutch, just being in this for 3 or 4 years now. And, for you to bring me on as a co-host is really, I'm honored and I appreciate it. You always help me out a lot. So I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, and honestly, go make sure you give props to Bill. That's really the reason why you're here. I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I know. Let's not beat around the bush here.
But also, if you were a dipshit, Alex, if you didn't have any potential or anything, I believe in you, you wouldn't be my go-to a lot of the times when Bill can't fill in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you do. Here's the thing: you make Bill look good, big time. Let me just say, even though Bill's already looking good. You being right-hand man of Bill Stiegel is fucking a good look on both you guys. So, it's an honor for me to actually help you get more, more notification, or people noticing who the fuck you are, because you are the future. I will tell you that. Like, you with your energy and where you're at with things, this is just the beginning of Alex Warren. And if I could be a part of that fucking shit here, I'll get credit for that all day. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
But also, I'm excited for you. And Marshall. God damn, I'm thankful to have Marshall available as much as he's been for me. And I know that there will be times where he can't be here on a Tuesday night, but man, Marshall, I got to say thank you for taking time, being one of the few OGs that like to come and fucking give us game on a podcast. Because a lot of people in your era, bro, don't like to do that. They're just set in their ways and they don't give a fuck. But you're one of the few that like to put on for the up and comers. So I thank you, Marshall, so much for being a part of this.
Yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm still learning stuff every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah, man.
I've really enjoyed it. Wasn't sure how I was gonna like it at first, but even like tonight, man. Like I knew nothing about Dimitri, but you can tell he's a solid dude, super humble. Which I think is awesome. That's a rare trait to have these days sometimes. And it's a positive. It's a positive in my book to be humble when you've had a little bit of success, because people that don't usually get smacked in the mouth pretty hard when you get cocky, especially when you're talking Condros.
Condro gods don't give a fuck. They will destroy any hope you have in your heart.
That's right.
But that's why I love the game so much. And again, thank you so much to the both of you guys. Go give Marshall Mendez a follow on Instagram. Red Mountain Herps, and of course Alex Warren, amazing arboreals. But give it up for these two guys. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, see ya, Alex.
All right. Later.
Peace. Thank you, guys. It's a wrap for this week's segment of All in the Tree Tuesdays. I thought tonight's episode was super legendary. I'm going to go back and listen to this one. I just respect a guy who's been around something so amazing, but to where it's like the patience and just, everything happens when it happens. Like when the stars align with Condros, you can't rush anything. And you'll hear this every single time we talk about chondros. You cannot rush anything when it comes to chondros. You kind of let things happen when they happen. So great episode. All right. So make sure you get the likes up. If this is your first time watching Trap Talk Reptile Podcast and you have not hit the subscribe button, it's never too late to hit the subscribe button. It's a free feature and it helps me out a lot. And we're just at that road to 10K. So thank you for all the subscribers and all the listens and just all the support. It really means a lot. And don't forget, if you're looking for exclusive content, if you just want to support what I have going on, and if you want to get more behind the scenes and exclusive content and tap in with all the trappers, go down to the very first link, click on it, join the Trap Talk Patreon family. As soon as you join the Patreon family, you get connected to the Discord. Over 185 trappers. Get connected to the IG group chat. Connect yourself with the right people, the best people, and I'll see you guys at the top. Have a good night. I'll see you guys here Thursday night. All right, it's that Pomona showdown, and best believe it's going to go down. Catch you guys here Thursday. Have a good night, and I'm out. Cheers.